Good morning again, Dharma friends. I'm going to ask you to please place your palms together and join me in Gasho. This is from Ryogemon. We know that because of Amida's boundless compassion, we are assured of birth in the Pure Land the very moment we put our trust in Amida. We call the name Namo Amida Butsu in happiness and thanksgiving for the gift of the universal vow. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. I'm so happy to see so many people here this morning. How many have been to the temple more than once in the past week? Okay, we're getting busy, aren't we? How many of you are planning to be here more than once this coming week? See a lot of hands. And finally, most importantly, how many people are going to be here on Saturday? Jeanette, you get a pass because I know you're at the JACL thing next week. So good. I'm happy to see all of you raising your hands like that. I'm looking forward to watching everyone dance next weekend. Spoiler alert, we're going to have some guests coming to Obon next weekend. I'm sure you probably have people that have come from some of the other Northwest District temples, but there will be a few people here joining us from Arizona as well. So, yeah, a few of our intrepid Dharma friends in Arizona have decided to come and join us. So, yeah, don't be afraid to put them to work. So the introduction I shared just a couple of minutes ago mentioned a special gift. Did any of you catch what that gift was? Yeah? Well, I'm hearing some whispers, so you're ahead of the curve. That's right. If you didn't catch it, we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. But the passage itself came from Ryogemon. It's a Jodo Shinshu pledge, similar to what we did a few minutes ago. This pledge, though, was written by Renyo Shonin. And Renyo is on the left side of the altar as you're facing it. So Renyo Shonin lived during the 15th century, and he is sometimes known as the 8th abbot or head priest or Gomonshu of Jodo Shinshu. That's our tradition, right? He was also a direct descendant of Shinran Shonin, our founder, who is on the right side of the Naijin. So as a pledge back in those days, Ryogemon was short and easy to remember for ordinary people. They could actually memorize it. And it contains all the elements of the Jodo Shinshu teaching and how we should conduct ourselves in our daily lives. So Jodo Shinshu followers in America, they don't need to memorize it, but they are encouraged to be familiar with it, just like our pledge. So during my ordination over 10 years ago, I actually had to memorize it and be able to recite it from memory on demand in Japanese. Not modern Japanese, but the dialect that was common when it was written over 500 years ago. And it was a little nerve-wracking because you were taken into a room, and sitting next to you was the rinbam of the training Betsuin. And you had to recite it directly to the rinbam flawlessly. So that's something that all Jodo Shinshu priests must be able to do at the time of their ordination. This also includes Reverends Kobata and Nishiyama. We've all had to do it. So as I mentioned, Ryogemon contains all the elements of our teaching and daily practice, which includes the understanding that as ordinary human beings, we cannot attain nirvana on our own and through our own efforts. Instead, we rely exclusively on Amida Buddha for our birth in the Pure Land at the end of our lives. This is where we immediately become Buddhas and return to this world and work to guide others to the Pure Land along with countless other bodhisattvas and Buddhas. It's because of Amida Buddha's boundless compassion that the name Namo Amida Butsu was created for each of us. The cause for our birth in the Pure Land is written within this name, which can be translated as, I take refuge in Amida Buddha. Or, better yet, Namo Amida Butsu can mean, from the Buddhist standpoint, declaring to us, there is refuge in me. There's no need to worry or do anything else. That is the Buddha saying that to us. It is the name itself that is a gift to us, and it's known as a gift of the universal vow. Universal meaning that is for everyone, regardless of time, place, nationality, race, ethnicity, gender, orientation, or ability. And because of its universality, it's also known as the vow of non-discrimination. You may be wondering, what is this universal vow of non-discrimination? It is the vow or promise that all beings, every single one of us, will attain nirvana by relying with our whole heart on the refuge that Amida Buddha gives to each and every one of us without exception. The conclusion of Ryōgemon emphasizes the many causes and conditions that had to happen for each of us to encounter this very rare teaching. And the Jodo Shinshu teaching is a very rare, wondrous, and precious gift. And it's one that we cannot repay no matter how hard we may try. All we can do is express our profound gratitude for Amida-sama's boundless wisdom and compassion by reciting Namo Amida Butsu with a grateful and humble heart. So in everyday life, why is this universal vow so special? So, please let me explain by asking all of you a question. Okay, and if it's too embarrassing, don't worry about it, but I want to know, how many of you have ever done something dumb? Oh, okay, good. Not embarrassing at all. Speaking for myself, there have been plenty of times that I have, and sometimes I knew I was going to do something dumb even before I did it. I mean, does that even make sense? But, sometimes we do those things. And then there were times I had no idea I had done something dumb, but only found out when someone else ended up telling me about it. Are any of you able to relate to these experiences? Okay. So guess what? These are the kinds of things that make us human. We may wish that we could simply avoid doing dumb things, but for most of us, it's probably impossible. I may be older and a tiny bit wiser, but I still do plenty of dumb stuff. You can just ask my wife Karen about that. The thing is, we cannot help ourselves. We cannot truly be perfect 100% of the time. There are times when I think unkind thoughts about others in my head. And sometimes these thoughts spill out of my mouth and I end up saying something that's insensitive or even mean, despite my best efforts not to do that. There are times when a family member or friend is struggling and I don't do anything about it. For example, like when I see someone's social media post from a friend or a family member who says that they may be sad, confused, or depressed. And all I do is simply send them a care emoji or a simple comment of, hang in there. For me, since these are people that are important to me, I would qualify that as dumb on my part. If there's someone I really care about, shouldn't I just call, FaceTime, or arrange to see them to let them know I'm willing to spend some time with them as they're going through a difficult experience? I have other examples. Like, not paying attention to directions when I'm cooking or trying to put something together from IKEA. Karen has seen a lot of that lately, where I try to do it on my own and it doesn't go well most of the time. Or perhaps I may eat too much, sometimes way too much. For those of you who have already gotten to know me, I have a very serious sweet tooth, especially for ice cream. The thing is, as I've gotten older, I've become a little lactose sensitive. So even though I know the outcome of eating ice cream will be a stomach ache and some other related bodily functions, I still eat it far too often. So it's a little dumb. And there are times when I drive distracted, even though I know better not to do that. I think that I can mess around with the AC controls on my dashboard while driving 75 miles per hour on the freeway. I remember doing this once while simultaneously changing lanes. So I briefly glanced, in my rearview mirror, but I didn't make a point of looking all the way over my shoulder, even though I already know I have a blind spot in my car. So I didn't know I had done anything dumb until the driver of the car, who was in that blind spot, came up alongside me and started yelling. At least I think he was yelling. I couldn't hear the words, but I could see his mouth like, and he was telling me I was number one with a very special finger. You can guess which finger. So I think these examples I've shared so far are things that most of us have done or will do in our lives. For the Dharma School students, please, please, please do not drive distracted. even as you get better at driving. So the last example was about driving, right? Well, I'd like to wrap up this talk by telling you about the most perfect and profound bumper sticker I've ever seen on a car. I was driving on the highway for an errand, and don't worry, I wasn't tailgating or driving distracted this time, but traffic came to a brief standstill. And the car in front of me had this sticker that I felt spoke directly to me. So let me show it to you. So in case you can't see those bold letters in the back, it says, "Warning, I do dumb things." So where did I put it? Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, I love that message so much that I even made a badge for me to wear so I can warn others with those same words. Wouldn't it be interesting if we all wore badges like this? I mean, the words on this badge are kind of true, right? For most of us. The point I'm trying to make is that no matter how hard we may try, we cannot save ourselves from just our own dumbness. Some of us might think that this dumbness can get in the way of our eventual enlightenment, but guess what? This is simply not the case, because the boundless compassion and wisdom of Amida Buddha makes sure that we will get there. We are truly so fortunate to Amida-sama that the Buddha has ensured our birth in the Pure Land, despite our imperfections and the dumb things we sometimes do. So as ordinary people going about our busy lives, it can be hard to remember this truth. So it's helpful to have some reminders, like this reminder on this badge that I'm wearing and also is on the screen. And it's not, again, the part that says, "Warning, I do dumb things." It's the fine print at the bottom. You probably can't see it since its wording is so small. Some of you may be able to because you have eagle-sharp eyes. But anyway, it says, it contains a very powerful reminder for all of us who are Jodo Shinshu Buddhists. It says, "But it's okay, because I'm saved by Amida's universal vow, and so are you." I wish I could wear this badge all of the time, but that really isn't practical for me or any of us to walk around wearing something like this. I mean, we may not get served at coffee shops or when we're in the grocery store or whatnot. But instead, though, we can remind ourselves of this very rare, wondrous, and special gift that Amida has already given to all of us by coming to the temple, chanting the sutras together, listening to the Dharma messages, and occasionally reciting Ryogemon either individually or as a sangha. So thank you so much for listening. And I wish to close this message with all of us reciting Ryogemon as a sangha. So please, if you will, pick up the purple book, and you can find it on page 14. And we will recite Ryogemon number 2 at the bottom of the page. And let us read it together. Will you please put your hands together. Gasho. These are the words of Renyo Shonin, who reminds us of the precious gift of Amida Buddha's universal and non-discriminatory vow. I rely on Amida Buddha with my whole heart for the attainment of nirvana. I give up trust in my powerless self and abandon all practices that rely on the false ego. I know that because of Amida's boundless compassion, I am assured of rebirth the very moment I put my trust in Amida. I call the name Namo Amida Butsu in happiness and thanksgiving for the gift of the universal vow. I am grateful for Shinran Shonin and his followers for leading me to this profound teaching. I will try to live throughout my life according to the way of Nembutsuge that they have taught. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namandalps, Namandalps, Namandalps. Thank you so much, Dharma friends.